On this episode, we're going to educate you on the home appraisal process with Maria from Minkovich Appraisal Services. Hello everyone, welcome to the Bob Wahl Show. On the Bob Wahl Show we talk business, St. Louis, and real estate. Hello everyone, welcome to the Bob Wahl Show. On the Bob Wahl Show we talk business, St. Louis, and real estate. I'm pretty excited about today's episode because it relates to real estate and it's a topic I think a number of you may be interested in. We have Maria with Minkovich Appraisal Services with me today. So Maria, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I guess we'll start out having you introduce we'll start out having you talk a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your business as well.
All right. My name is Maria Minkovich, and I'm married. I have one son and two granddaughters. I'm a real estate appraiser, and I own and operate my own real estate appraisal company since 1990. I also resident of St. Louis since 1977. So I'm state certified appraiser, and I'm also FHA approved appraiser. What it means that I can appraise any property regardless of its value. That's what my certification allows me to do. And also I can appraise any property that is selling FHA, and there are several programs there and we approved for all of them.
Great. Your business is very unique. It's a very specific type of industry. What do you like most about being in the appraisal business?
Well, I guess most that I like is it's never boring.
Right.
Although I've been in the business for many years, each day is so different. Each day we see different properties. Each day we do different inspections. So that's very interesting. Also, reports that we prepare are different. So, it's never boring. A lot of changes in the industry also require us to be more adjustable to those changes. And so the learning process, doing new things differently to improve the process, I really enjoy that.
That's great. I'm going to keep it simple to start off with. I'm not going to assume everyone knows what an appraisal is. A number of us do, but maybe there's some people who haven't purchased a home, or maybe just people who aren't familiar with what an appraisal is. I guess we'll just start out having you talk about what is an appraisal and when is it necessary.
All right. Well, an appraisal is a report prepared for a client. And it's prepared to establish a market value of a piece of property, either 1, 2, or 4 family units. So, in fact, we can do all of it. The report is based on market data. So, as I said, the report is unique because in real estate, location.
Right.
Why is it needed? It's needed for... The report is needed for lenders. They just require it when they make a loan.
Okay.
Or if it's a refinance,
correct,
they require that too. We also appraise for attorneys, and that's in case of property division.
Okay.
In trusts or probates.
Okay.
Also, we can do it for real estate professionals. Sometimes they are not sure how to list the property, and we've done that too. For private people, when they would like to reduce their real estate taxes, we're doing that too. So there are many different reasons why appraisals are needed, and we can provide any report.
That's great, and I've done that maybe once. It's not always necessary, but there are specific properties where I need another set of eyes from a specific appraiser because it's, in a lot of cases, it's not apples to apples.
No.
And it's tough to determine the market value. I usually do pretty good at giving a specific range of what a home would sell on, but some properties, there's just not comps, and they have special things about it, and another set of eyes is always good.
Then you have to be really creative to establish the market value.
Correct. What factors, that's a good segue into my next question, what factors go into deciding the worth of a home?
Well, as you know, in real estate, again, location. So,
Right.
but the value, the market value is based on sales in the subject's neighborhood, immediate area. It depends on the recent sales because market is changing constantly. And of course, we analyze the data. It's the size of the property, the style, condition, improvements. So there is a lot of, like we call it, units of comparison that we have to use to demonstrate why this property is worth that much. And basically, market is telling us what it's worth.
Right.
By using the techniques that we do, the market would dictate what the market value of that piece of property.
The market always decides.
Yes, yes.
Now, there can be specific cases where sometimes what the market took for the property and what the appraised value comes in at can be separate, can be a distance away from each other. I'll have you talk about how there can be differences between market value and appraised value.
Okay. Now, when we talk about appraised value, typically we appraisers that appraise for lenders, we deal with market value. So appraised value should be market value. However, sale price could be lower or higher. And sale prices are determined by two people and maybe for any specific needs. So a buyer might pay for this property a bit higher because this is exactly one point that the property has and they need it.
Correct.
Okay. So, but we as an appraisers, we have to establish the value based on objective units of comparison that typical buyer would pay for that kind of a property.
Okay, and that's kind of
and that's where the, sale price and market value could differ.
And I understand, and when I say market value from a realtor's perspective, I think sale price, because that's market value, but I'm a salesperson.
Yeah.
That's where my head, market value is what the home sold for, but that's where the gap can be is, okay, well, that's what the home sold for, but in comparison to the other homes in the sales history in the area, the comparable properties aren't supporting that price.
The good example is that if someone is buying a home, and I've seen that because I appraised it, and their mother-in-law or parents live next door, and this is where they want to be because of the children.
Correct.
They're willing to spend more maybe than any other typical buyer that has no such connection.
The vicinity to their parents is added value that they're willing to pay, but that's a specific scenario that
if somebody
the bank
else
can't.
comes along, they're not willing to pay that much. And my job is that's required by the bank.
Correct.
They want the market value.
Because the bank doesn't care. The bank is forking out the money and the bank doesn't care who lives next door.
Exactly.
As far as if it's a relative or just another neighbor.
Exactly,
So.
yeah.
Well, that's great. Now, I don't know if there is, I give a lot of tips to home sellers as far as things they can do to help their home sell quicker and for more money. I just wanted to ask because from a realtor perspective, I might have a different perspective than, determining how to sell a home is different than an appraisal's mindset as far as determining what a home is worth. Are there any simple things that people can do to help their home appraise for more money?
Well, yes and no, again.
Okay.
Simple updates like, some paint, carpeting, you want to have clean carpeting. It's not necessarily gonna improve much value, okay, but it will sell faster.
Right.
Now, in today's market, typical purchasers, they want the home to be in the tip-top shape.
Correct.
Okay, so improvements like kitchens, like bathrooms, flooring, stainless steel appliances, this is what market actually,
Okay.
So that will definitely increase the value. So taking it from an average condition to good or better always will affect the value.
Okay, and I figured that the answer would be fairly consistent with the tips we give home sellers
Yeah.
when they're trying to sell their home. Paint. I just did an episode a few weeks ago about tips, little simple home improvements, paint, carpet, upgrading hardware and cabinets, just a lot of little
Just the
things.
little
that-
things. You don't want
Right.
a buyer to walk in and see some repairs that are needed.
Right.
So it's better to do it. And also, it also shows the appraiser when we're out there that the property is being well maintained. And that's where we determine the condition of the property.
Okay. Well, that's great. Well, that gives everyone an insight to what goes on from the appraisal standpoint. Very informational. How can, now if someone were in need of an appraisal, whether it's a lender that happens to be watching and they'd like to add you to their list of vendors, or sometimes people contact you for privately to get an appraised value of their home for specific reasons, how can people contact you?
Well, you can look up our website, okay, which is MissouriValueAppraisals.com. You can call the office 314-439-0102, or you can email. You can email to me directly, and I'll be happy to answer any questions, whatever it is about appraisals or appraising. And you can email it to Maria Minkovich at MissouriValue.com, and it's spelled out MissouriValue.com.
Okay, and I'll put it on the video, that way people can
Okay.
see the contact information. Well, Maria, thank you so much.
Thank
Very
you.
informational.
Thank you.
That concludes this week's episode of the Bob Wahl Show. If you liked the episode, like and share. If you haven't done so, like my company Facebook page. I'm providing a lot of good, valuable content in regards to local businesses, community, real estate information. So thanks everyone, and see you next week. Goodbye for now.